lovelies, my name is Jessica and welcome to Makeup.misfit and welcome to my new filming area for now and into the foreseeable future. My room that I've been filming in, my spare room, I do want that to become my beauty room. I know I've talked about redoing things in there, but I find it's really difficult with the lighting to make anything look good right now. The light fixture is just a chandelier and it's like yellow lighting and I don't like it. Sometimes I feel like turning the lights off and having the window light, the natural light, doesn't look so bad, but it's such a small window that I don't get a whole lot of it. So I came back out to my living room. I'm really enjoying this lighting right now. So for the foreseeable future, this is where I'm going to be. Enjoy the new backdrop, the decor in the back. We got a little something going on here. This is, where I was filming before, just in different areas behind the camera. Now we are facing my window and I really do like this. So wanted to get that out of the way, but let's start chatting about what we are actually here for, because you probably saw the title of this video and you're like, girl, aren't you doing the original Project Level Up? Am I saying things? You're crazy. What are you doing? And yes to all of that. Yes, I am already doing the original Project Level Up. I had that posted up back on January 5th, so go check that out. But yes, I decided to also do a light version of this project this year. And we will get into that, but before we do, we know that Project Level Up was created by Sophie Alexandra, and the light version came from Ruth Foley. And I've also seen Samar, who is first time panner here on YouTube, do the light version. I feel like I've seen a couple others do it too. Maybe Dora, I could be wrong on that one. But I have seen a few people do this project before. And basically, this is just a lighter version of Project Level Up, where each level you still use each shade in that palette that many times. So level 1, you're going to use every shade in the palette 1 time, but you're only going to select one shade and use it a total of 10 times instead of trying to hit pan on that. Now, after level 1, I have seen it, I want to say a couple different ways. I could be making things up here, but I believe I've seen it where, level 2, you use every shade twice, but then you can either select 2 shades and use them both a total of 10 times to equal 20, or you can select just one shade and use it a total of 20 times, and then so on and so forth. I'm doing the bare minimum, and I'm only going to select one shade to use a total of 10 times, no matter what level I'm on. I will still use every shade twice that I need to on, the second level. Level 3, I'll still use every shade 3 times. But when it comes to selecting like my focus shade, I'm only going to select one, and I'm only going to use it a total of 10 times, and then I'm going to move on. I just want this project to be super chill, no pressure. My original Project Level Up usually becomes my main eyeshadow focus project for the year, and I'm totally okay with that. I absolutely love it, and that's probably how things are going to go again this year. But I really wanted to pull this project in this year because I was watching a video, and I can't remember which one it was, or who it was, but she was talking about having pan in every palette in her collection. And I have been kind of throwing up the idea of doing a pan in every palette as well. Let me know if it's something you're interested in. I was thinking it would be more or less, an intro, a mid-year check-in, and then like a check-in at the end of the year just to see how far I've gotten. But while I was thinking about that, I also knew that I have palettes in my collection that I'm never going to hit pan on. They are never going to have pan. I'm never going to want to pull them into projects to try and make myself use them to have pan in them. And I'm totally okay with that. I don't need pan in these palettes. They are very hard pressed. Sometimes I just don't gravitate towards them. When I do use them, I love them and I enjoy them and I will reach for them. But do I see myself using them to the point of actually hitting pan in them? No. And if I do, it's going to be over a very long period of time with a whole lot of uses, but it's going to be a little bit more on the organic side of trying to use those shades. And I'm totally okay with that. Would I love to have 100% of my collection with pan? Yeah, I think that would be really cool. Is it going to happen? No. And do I mind? No. I'm totally fine with it. If I have 85% of my collection or even 95% of my collection with pan and 5, 10, 15% without, it is what it is. And I'm totally okay with that. So I wanted to go through my collection because I had a few palettes come to mind quite immediately that I knew was not going to happen. I have 5 palettes here in front of me that I'm going to show you in a moment, but there are a couple others that I'm like, I don't know if, there's any other shades in these palettes that I'm ever going to hit pan on. So I decided to just kind of leave them out for now. This brand also has 2 other palettes that I have that are different packaging, so I don't know how different the formula is. I haven't even tried them yet, so I didn't want to pull them into this project either. I figured I was just going to stick with these ones, the ones that I have. It's all one brand, it's all the same type of packaging, and I know a lot of people have a harder time trying to pan these palettes, so I figured let's do a light version of this project so that I can try and make my way through them, as many as I can this year. If I don't get through all 5 palettes this year, it's totally okay as well. Like I said, very chill, no pressure, but the 5 palettes that I'm going to try and be focusing on a little bit and get some love on this year are these from Too Faced. As I drop one. We know how difficult these are to pan. Whether it's people doing the Sweet Peach palette, the Chocolate Bar palettes, they make it through and I'm quite impressed, but I know that I'm never going to want to pull even one of the mini ones in as a pan that palette in Project Level Up, the original version. It's just not something that I want to do. So I figured let's do a light version. And we're going to use every shade in the palette X amount of times that I need to, and then I'm going to pick one focus shade from each palette when I get to that palette and just use it 10 times. Now, for level 1, I've pre-selected the palette that I want to use because the pumpkin spice one is the only full-size palette that I have. The only other full-size palette I've ever had was the Chocolate Bonbons palette, and if you have been around for a while, you know the love that I had for that palette. You know the progress I made on that palette. I did really good. That palette I actually could hit pan on, use up shades. It's definitely taken a lot of time, but I loved it so much that I didn't mind putting in that effort. I even condensed it down a little bit because I was getting to the point where there was shades in there like the teal and the hot pink and the purple and the gray and a really dark brown that I knew I just wasn't ever going to use. So I decluttered those shades. I condensed it down to a super cute little 5-pan palette. Out of those 5 pans, 3 of them are completely gone now. And I still have 2 that need some love and need some pan. I want to finish off. Is that going to happen this year? I don't know. Would I love for it to happen this year? Absolutely. But maybe I will pull those into projects, like prompt-based projects, just to get a little bit of, progress going on the shades that are remaining. But when it comes to this or any of these other little ones, I don't want to force myself to try and use them and try and hit pan because I'm just not going to enjoy it. So for level 1, I'm going to go with the one and only full-size palette that I have, which is the Pumpkin Spice palette. Now, this does not have a whole lot of use on it, but this shade right here called Want a Piece of Me does have a bit of a dip going on in it already. So I may use that one as my one focus shade to use 10 times and see where I end up. If I hit pan, cool. And if I don't, then it is what it is. Every shade in here I will use once. But there are quite a few shades in here that I also don't want to use more than once. And I think because there are so many of them, I don't want to make myself use this more than one time. So that's why it's going to be my level 1. Now, this side here, I don't see myself having too much of an issue with. It's probably going to be a lot of these shades here. The darker ones, the ones that I'm just not really feeling right now. So when I do select a shade, I don't know if it will be this one. Maybe it'll be this one. Maybe it'll be that one. Who knows? It'll probably be a shimmer. Well, no, not even that, because if I'm only using it 10 times, it doesn't matter. So we'll see what I want to do. I'm going to keep it, still open-ended like I do with the original, where I just come back and I show you guys the one that I was focusing on. I'm not going to pre-select a shade to focus on because I don't want to feel like I'm tied down to that shade. So we're just going to use every shade in this palette one time. I will come back and let you guys know which shade I started focusing in on to use 10 times. And this might not be completed by the next update. I'm going to do monthly updates, but this might not be done by February, and that's okay. If it's not completed by, within a month, I'm okay with that. I do have 5 palettes to try and get through this year, but if I don't get through all of them, then it is what it is. As long as I'm using them, showing them a little bit of love, trying to show some progress on them, then I'm okay with that. So level 1 is going to be this palette. And then when I do end up hitting level 2, these are the 4 that I have remaining left. So I'm just going to go through them and show you guys what they are. So I do have the Gingerbread Spice. I was never interested in the full size or even the too spicy full size one, but I did like this color story. And I would prefer this one over those other ones. So I picked this one up when this one came out as their holiday release one year. I've used it a few times. I don't mind it. So this one I enjoy. Salted Caramel, I think I also picked up at the same time as the mini gingerbread one there. I really like this color story. When I first used this, I loved it. Again, I do like this formula. I do love these little palettes. And when I do reach for them, I fall in love with them. But they're not something that I want to focus in on so much that I want to try and hit pan or feel like I need to. This one I absolutely love. This palette I have fallen in love with as well. I had some really pretty looks come out of this, but again, I want to just kind of like reach for these as I feel. And if I go a full week or 2 with using it, and that's all the progress that I get on, you know, the palette for a little bit, then that's okay. But I absolutely love this one as well. And then the last one is the Let's Play palette. And I think I've used this one maybe once, twice. Not very often, but I did enjoy this one as well. I think out of these 4, the Gingerbread Spice one is the one with the color story that I like the least, but I still really enjoy it. Again, there are so many of these palettes that I have been wanting. A part of me is kind of kicking myself for not getting the It's My Jam palette. It was at my winners and I just kind of bypassed it, even after wanting it for a bit. But I find like the packaging on a lot of these palettes I prefer more than the actual color stories, and I'm not going to start buying the palettes just for the packaging when I don't like the color story, especially, that's not a word, especially with these ones because of the formula, because I know I'm never going to hit pan, because I'm not going to get the full, you know, money's worth out of it, and that's okay. It's not always going to happen, and that's okay. But these are what my 5 palettes are going to be for this year. So once I complete level 1, I will then randomize what my level 2, 3, 4, and potentially 5 level palette is going to be. Well, I guess I can't randomize level 5 when there's only going to be 1 left, but we are going to focus in on this one right now, and we're just going to see how far I get in the next month. And, you know, I will come back and let you know if I've even used every shade one time. Usually that's what I like to try and do with the original Project Level Up, is try and reach for every single shade in the palette one time before the first update, before the first month is over, and then focus in on a shade and try and hit pan on that by month 2 of focusing on the palette. If I can get it done in 1 month, it's happened, it's cool, it's awesome. But for this project, very chill, no pressure whatsoever. I just want to show these a little bit more love. But like I said, I think that this is the best way to do that, because unless I'm going somewhere or I just feel like randomly picking up one of the palettes one day, I'm probably not really going to reach for them. So just to give it a little bit of something, I figured this is probably the best way to do that. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. I hope that I enjoy it. I hope that this was a right decision for me. I hope that, you know, if this does work out well, then maybe next year I will do this again with other palettes in my collection that I don't think I'm really ever going to hit pan on, whether I'm just like not interested in hitting pan and I just want to reach for it, you know, here and there, or harder, you know, the harder pressed shadows, and I don't think I'm ever going to actually hit pan on it unless I focus on it, which I really might not want to do. So let's just see how this goes first before we start jumping into the future here. But I really do hope that you guys enjoy this journey with me, see how things go. Let me know your thoughts on doing a project like this, the light version for these types of palettes. If you guys think it's a good idea or not, let's chat down below, because I love chatting with you guys. And that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate you, and I will see you guys all later. Bye.